我名叫张苑荣，我是这一期的候选人。你好。Many people have asked me why I'm standing for elections. I am a Singaporean just like any one of you, working hard and taking care of my family. However, I could not simply stand by and watch what the PAP is doing to this country. Over the years, the PAP has made a lot of bad decisions and implemented a range of bad policies that has caused Singaporeans hardships and stress. I am a happily married mother of 4 children. It is the concern of mothers that their children grow up in a safe, nurturing environment. But in 2004, the government said we should have a casino in Singapore. Many Singaporeans like me thought it was a bad idea. I joined hands with other Singaporeans to voice out against having a casino. Of course, the government told us of the benefits the casino would bring. 35,000 jobs, huge investments, and opportunities for Singaporeans. I asked the PAP, is it worth risking Singapore's safe environment for a casino? We Singaporeans don't want to have another Macau, another Las Vegas here. We don't want the crime and sleaze that come hand in hand with a casino. The PAP government boasts about its top-class talent. Has the PAP no other solution than a casino? But in 2005, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong announced the government has decided to have not 1 but 2 casinos. We were supposed to be discussing the possibility of 1 casino. How did it become 2? Do you think that there was proper debate in Parliament? No! Of course not. What kind of debate can there be when 82 out of 84 seats are from one party? What kind of a deal can it be? Even though the PAP government knew that there were strong public feelings against having a casino, they still went through with it. Not 1, but 2. This, fellow Singaporeans, is an example of a policy that has been forced down our throats, despite the fact that we were unhappy about it. And who suffers the effects of the casino? We, the people of Singapore. Now we hear of families whose lives are destroyed by problems of gambling. Do you see why we need more opposition voices in Parliament? We simply cannot allow the PAP to do what they think is right for our country. This is not their country. It belongs to you and me. They must also listen to us. This is a government that is not transparent to the people. A few days ago, Mr. Mountbatten said that lowering land costs to help reduce high prices would be like raiding the reserves. Come to think of it, how much is our reserves? In the financial crisis of 2008, GIC lost about 50 billion Singapore dollars. What is 50 billion Singapore dollars? Is it a lot of money or is it small change? The only way to compare is to know the size of the reserves in the first place. But do we know the figures? No. Recently, Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan told reporters furious that the investment portfolios of GIC and Temasek are now back to their pre-crisis peaks. My question is, what were the pre-crisis peaks? What were the figures? I tried to find out, but I do not know. Do you know? So, ladies and gentlemen, do you know where the money in the reserves come from? It comes from you and it comes from me. It is our money. But up to today, neither you nor I know how much is in the reserves. It is our right to know the exact figures. The late President Ong Teng Cheong asked the government. He asked the government to give him the figures, but he waited and he waited and he eventually passed away without ever knowing the amount. Where is the transparency? Where is the accountability? Talking about HDB. Now, what is the mission of the HDB? Why was HDB formed? HDB is Singapore's Public Housing Authority, a statutory board formed to provide Singaporeans with affordable homes, not to provide foreigners with affordable homes. My friends, as many of you know, HDB homes has become anything but affordable. Resale prices of HDB have skyrocketed over the last few years. From initial prices of 100,000, today we see prices reaching more than $500,000 for a HDB flat. How high are HDB prices going to go? How can our children afford their homes in the future? In 2008, almost 80,000 foreigners became permanent residents. In September 2009, it was reported that PRs make up 40% of the HDB resale buyers. According to Population Census 2010, there are now over 500,000 PRs in Singapore. Where are all these PRs going to stay? Mr. Mountbatten allows Singapore PRs to buy HDB resale flats, and this has driven up HDB resale prices. And who suffers for this? Today, HDB flats are beyond the reach of many young couples. Many couples have to delay buying their homes and can't even think of starting a family because of this. To pay for their high-priced homes, buyers have to take up 30-year-long mortgages. In the end, all your CPF will be gone. How much CPF will be left for your retirement? And what does Mr. Mountbatten have to say? He says he's proud of Singapore's asset enhancement policy. Mr. Ma says it is a good thing because your home has become a valuable asset. For most Singaporeans, this statement is meaningless. People need homes. If you sell your home, you're still going to buy another home. If you sell high, you're also going to buy high. So obviously, the asset enhancement policy is not making you rich. It makes you poor because you cannot afford to buy your own home. And so, my fellow Singaporeans, the list of bad decisions go on. Pushing GST from 3% to 4%, then from 4% to 5%, and then from 5% to 7%. What the hell? Increasing minister pay by 60%. The cost of living going up and up. It is bad enough we have 2 casinos. Now I hear from Mr. S. Iswaran that Despite the nuclear plant crisis in Japan last month, Singapore would still continue to explore nuclear energy in Singapore. Oh dear! I hope our government knows what it is doing. But how to make sure that our government makes the right decision for us? The only way is for more opposition members in Parliament. With more opposition in Parliament, citizens can check and balance the ruling party's decision. With more opposition in Parliament, citizens can call the minister to answer and be accountable for their actions and decisions. With more opposition in Parliament, citizens can call the government of the ruling party to give us more information, more facts and figures, to be more transparent, and to tell us the real story when things go wrong. This is the reason why I have come forward to stand up. Fellow Singaporeans, don't listen to talk that opposition can only bash PAP but got no solution. I'm proud to tell you that we at NSP have got many very good solutions. Here are just some of them. To help young couples start a family, NSP wants discounts to be given to first-time buyers of new HDB flats. To help Singaporeans cope with the rising cost of living, NSP wants to reduce GST back to 5%. And to exempt basic necessities from GST. To protect Singaporeans' employment prospect, the NSP wants a quota to be imposed on the employment of foreigners earning less than $4,000 per month. There are a lot more good solutions in the NSP manifesto, which I invite you all to download from my blog. Now, the PAP every time likes to say, opposition got no credible candidate. Well, standing before you now is a credible candidate. In fact, my credentials are even better than my counterpart, Mr. Lim Biao Chan. How dare the PAP say that Singapore got no talent? Maybe PAP got no talent. I think I am a talent. I am more than a match for Mr. Lim Biao Chuan. Now, it is true that I am running my first elections. But so is Mr. Lim Biao Chuan. Yes, this GE is also Mr. Lim Biao Chuan's first elections. Remember, he was part of the super-sized 6-man GRC team who sailed into Parliament after GE 2006 because Marine Parade was a walkover. In the last GE, did Mr. Lim have to go around canvassing for votes and fight to win his seat in Parliament? Under the clever GRC scheme, a vote for Mr. Goh Chok Tong is also a vote for Mr. Lim Biao Chuan. Did the people of Mountbatten choose Mr. Mr. Lim to be their MP. It was Mr. Goh Chok Tong who chose Mr. Lim to be their MP. The GRC scheme, invented by the PAP government, has robbed the voters of Mountbatten of their constitutional right to choose their MP. But now, people of Mountbatten, now you have a choice. Now Mr. Lim has to do walkabouts. He has to go door to door. He has to stand at the MRT station to distribute his flyers. He has to convince you to give him your vote.
Very hard.
Mr. Lim never had to do that in GE 2006. But he has to do it now because I have come forward to contest in Mountbatten. But people of Marine Parade, you all are still under a GRC. A vote for Mr. Goh Chok Tong is also a vote for all the other 4 members of Goh Chok Tong's GRC team. Whether or not all these 4 other candidates are as credible as I am, what is the solution? Vote opposition and send the PAP the signal that you don't want the GRC scheme, a scheme which benefits the ruling party but which does not benefit the people. People have asked me, what will I do for Mountbatten if elected? As for my plans for Mountbatten, I will be holding a press conference tomorrow to unveil the further details of my 5-year plan. Let me say that the whole of NSP is behind me. If I win Mountbatten, my team and I will dedicate ourselves to make Mountbatten a model constituency. Residents of Mountbatten will benefit from our enthusiasm and eagerness to offer our energies and capabilities. I do not think that I have a tough act to follow. I believe I can do more, much more for Mountbatten. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew told reporters that if the PAP loses Aljunied, the people of Aljunied will have 5 years to live and repent. I say that if PAP loses Mountbatten, the people of Mountbatten will not repent. They will rejoice!